Welcome everyone to Planet of NY Sports. Here we talk Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, and a little bit of the Knicks and Nets. So we will be doing a Jets versus Seahawks preview. So basically the Jets, they have lost 4 straight games. They are now 7-8, but they are still alive in the playoff picture. That's something. When they lost against the Jaguars, I honestly thought they were out, but due to Miami losing to the Packers, they still have a chance. So, therefore, let's get into it, shall we? So, Zach Wilson is not playing another game for the Jets, and I would assume, at least this season. I would say beyond, but I don't know. The Jets have been so adamant on giving him chances and stuff, but I feel like this is it for the guy. I don't think he can really handle New York. Alex, what's your thoughts on Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I think his days as a Jet might be over. And if his days as a Jet might be over, I think his days in the NFL might be over. Because if the Jets don't want him, then I feel like there really is no any other NFL team that would want him. Because they've seen if any other team has paid attention, they've seen the issues, and that it's all been surrounding him. And we had the mechanical issues that we had to deal with, the relationship issues with his teammates, his pride issues. So I don't really think that he's gonna play another game for the Jets. And if that's the case, then if he never plays another game for the Jets, then he probably won't play another game in the NFL.
That is a hot take. To be honest, I would not be surprised to see Zach Wilson in the XFL either. It wouldn't surprise me. But I think he will be in NFL. I think he'll stay. I think he may be a better backup, or you can try him as like a third stringer in like a small market, like a I don't know. I'm trying to think. Who's maybe like a Jacksonville. That's something. That would be something. Trevor Lawrence and him on the same team, and like look at Trevor Lawrence and how he's doing. I feel like the Jets probably would have messed up Trevor Lawrence too, though. But remember, the Jets were winning those meaningless games towards the end of the year, and then they ended up with the second pick, and then they couldn't draft Trevor Lawrence, and now you're stuck with Jamarcus Russell 2.0. But anyways, we're going to get into some keys to well, no. Before I get into keys to victory, I'm just going to explain what the Jets need to do to get into the playoffs, even though, like I said, I've already done it twice. But, I'm just going to do it again. So the Jets need to win out first and foremost. You need to beat the Seahawks, and then you need to beat the Dolphins. And then 2, you need Miami to either lose to the Dolphins without Tua or lose to the Bills. The Bills will still be playing for the first seed most likely, especially with Kansas City probably not losing another game. So therefore, I think the Patriots will drop another game. I think, but who knows? We've seen crazier things. So the Jets, if you lose this game, your season's over. So seriously, you really, really need to win this game. For Jet fans, the expectation is playoffs at this point. I don't think it's you're 7-8. Like let's say you go 8-9. You're getting a mediocre draft pick. You didn't make the playoffs, and you haven't been to the playoffs in God knows how long. So if you can just go ahead and win out, the Patriots will most likely lose a game, and you're in. That's basically how it is. So real quick here, we'll just do some keys to victory for the Jets. So I think they should establish the run. So the running game has been cold for the Jets lately, basically ever since Breece Hall got injured and was out for the year. But the Seahawks defense, they are like really awful against the run. Whether if it's Michael Carter or Ty Johnson, like you got to utilize the ground game. I also think they should defend the pass, because the Seahawks, they're not going to run the ball too much. That's literally they're just going to have Geno Smith, and this is going to be like a revenge game for him too. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder, so you're going to really have to defend the pass. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, you guys are going to have to step up. The Seahawks are 11th in the NFL in passing. So yeah, like I said, they're almost top 10 in passing. They're always passing the ball. So Sauce Gardner, DJ, you guys need to step. Well, Sauce Gardner's been good. I'm not really worried about him. Now, one more, I think they should just try to get an early lead. The Jets, I think, because the Jets' defense, they've been like, as like before, we were like, oh yeah, Jets, top 5 defense in the league. I don't know if we're like really saying that anymore right now. They've been very shaky. So if they can establish an early lead and just like kind of maybe like take the pressure off of the Jets' defense, then that would be good because then your defense doesn't have to do as much, and you'll be okay. So, Alex, what's your thoughts on the whole situation?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think you just like reiterate on your points, like about using the run game, even with the injury to Brees Hall, that was pretty detrimental to their run game. But like you said, they need to exploit it, and they need to exploit the Seahawks' bad run defense and use it to their advantage. Because even with Mike White starting, he's pretty solid, but you wouldn't want to take chances that the next thing you know he's throwing picks left and right when you could have just ran the ball and gotten some yards. Um, like you said, maybe have to establish an early lead because at least establishing an early lead would have something for them to back up just in case the defense fails on like a drive or two, and the next thing you know, it's like say they have like a 14-point lead, so then it becomes like 14-7 or something. That could be something to help support them too.
Yeah, exactly. And I was gonna say, obviously, the guy we're looking at in this situation is Mike White. Mike White. Even if you win these 2 games, you will be loved by the Jets fan base. They already love the guy. They hate Zach Wilson, but Mike, this is gonna tell us if Mike White is gonna have a chance at the starting job next year. Because even if Mike White does lead them to the playoffs, I expect them to lose in the first round. I don't think they will beat the Bills, the Chiefs, or the Bengals, whoever ends up as that second seed. So therefore, it's gonna be really tough because the thing with Mike White is he's been very injury prone. And he kind of stays in the pocket. Like he's willing to take big hits. Is that good? Sure. But like, it's not good when where like, you're getting hurt all the time. And then, we saw with his ribs and stuff, that was an issue and it took him forever to get cleared. So I just think, even it's not going to be like a foregone conclusion that he is the starter, even if he does win these 2 games. Alex, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. Even if he wins these 2 games, I mean, he'll prove that he's pretty good QB. But I think if he had more time to prove himself before this, and then the fact that he was injured for the past couple of weeks, he kind of really hasn't had much time to show like his starter worthiness. I feel like he's a pretty good QB compared to Zach Wilson. He's definitely way better, and he's a good QB. But I feel like he hasn't had enough time to show how good he will be as a starter because he had that one week where he was good, and then he had another week, but then after that he got injured, so he was out for a couple weeks, and he's only coming back for these 2 games now. So I feel like he would need more time to try and like prove to the Jets that he would be a starter QB worthy instead of them having to sign like another one off the free agent market.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's just say Mike White does fall flat on his face. There will be options for the Jets, such as Derek Carr. I think he is definitely a favorite, like to go to the Jets. And then also maybe like a Jimmy G. Do you want? I don't know if Geno Smith would want to go back, but like maybe Geno Smith. Geno Smith will be available. And then I've also seen some Jet fans throwing out scenarios where like they trade for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'd be surprised if the Packers get I mean, they're gonna have a decision to make between Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. They're gonna have to pick one because if they stick with Rodgers next year, I assume Jordan Love is probably gonna request a trade. And then you also look at, I've also been hearing that they want Lamar Jackson. That's not happening, Jet fans. Let's get real here because even if Lamar doesn't, come to a long-term deal with the Ravens, they can just franchise tag him. So it's not going to matter. And then also I've been hearing, one Jet fan wants Tom Brady. I mean, like, I don't know if he really wants to, come back up here. Like, why? He's in nicer weather right now. And I think if he is going to leave Tampa Bay, which I think he will, I think he goes to probably the 49ers or the Raiders. And then also, I just want to throw this out. I just want to throw it out there. So I was listening to WFAN. This guy called in and made a 3-team trade scenario. He says, what if the Jets get Lamar Jackson? The Jets get Lamar Jackson. The Giants would trade Daniel Jones and Saquon to the Ravens. And the Jets would trade Sauce Gardner and someone else to the Giants.
That is actually like the worst trade I've ever heard of in my life. Like, what? That's such a random, like, did he just think of that one day and just, like, decide to go?
No, but he was being serious. Like, he was being serious. He was like, what's wrong with that? He was like, why are you laughing? So, I mean, that's just, some fans are really unrealistic. And then there's also, like, some fans saying, oh, well, we can just go ahead and, maybe make a trade for – I did hear one that wants to trade for like Patrick Mahomes. That's not happening. Your Jet fans are like so delusional. And like, WFAN, I don't know. Then there's someone calling in basically saying, yeah, I'm a Giants and Jet fan. And then he was also like, and I'm also a Yankees and a Met fan. I just want to win. I can't take you seriously if you're saying stuff like that, to be honest.
Pick one team. It's not that hard.
Exactly. Like, I get it. You just want to be there for the parade, but like still, it's just like, ugh. So
the only time I would like support another New York team is like if we're in a situation where it's like a New York team versus like another team that like we hate or something. But I wouldn't like just be a general fan of both teams.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Jets, like I'm a Giant fan, but I can tolerate the Jets. I don't hate the Jets. Now the Mets, on the other hand, I don't like Met fans. I kind of don't like the team, to be honest, now because of certain reasons. But we still made it further than them almost every single time, and they haven't won a World Series since 1986. But same thing you can also say with the Jets, who haven't won a Super Bowl since 1969. So I digress. I'm not here to kill the Jets, but just going back onto the original point of having a QB, this is going to be a telltale, two games for Mike White. If he loses this game, then I think, yeah, they're done with the Mike White experience because, they're not making the playoffs. But if you can win, I think the guy definitely has a shot, but it just depends how he plays, though. So, Alex, any closing thoughts?
No, that's really it for today.
All right. If you can all just do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video.